against Joey Arroyo. They're both looking for their first win as young pros. Angel Torres is from right here in New York, 23 years old, 5'5". He gives up 4 inches in a junior lightweight bout, 5'5", 130 pounds, 0-2-2. He hasn't fought since August of 2006. And there is 18-year-old Joey Arroyo. He's born in San Juan, but raised in the Bronx, 0-1-1. He was a finalist in the New York Golden Gloves in the Empire State Games, and he's looking for his first win. Arthur Mercanti Jr. is the referee, and Arroyo and Torres are scheduled for 4.
Tonight, let's have a nice clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Joey Arroyo in the black and white trunks. Puerto Rican native, who is very tall for this weight class, 5'9".
Come on, stay focused here.
Just 18 years old.
Both these fighters looking for their first win.
Torres, the southpaw in the red, white, and blue.
Torres resides in Manhattan. This is like the old-time rivalries. One area against the other. Arroyo from the Bronx.
That's one of the more interesting eras in this sport, especially right here where we are, where we're just a block away from MSG. You have this beautiful old ballroom here. But you could have entire fight cards back in the day, and you don't have to go too far back to have this, where it was almost neighborhood versus neighborhood within the same borough of this city.
No, it was great rivalries. I'd like to see us get involved in more of those rivalries, you know, and restart them again, rekindle them again.
This is the kind of city where you can get this done.
Yes, it is. Brooklyn against New York against, as we say right here, the Bronx and Queens, and get all the boroughs involved. New York against Chicago, New York against Philly.
LA's another city where you could have the rivalries just within the local and regional communities. Early on, a quick pace being set between Arroyo and Torres. Arroyo in the black and white, Torres in the red, white, and blue. Both searching for their first win.
Torres to southpaw. So Arroyo, to get his first win, has to do it. Tough circumstances, tough style against the lefty.
Torres comes straight in against the tall, wiry Arroyo.
You can see Torres a little more compact, and that's why you're looking to probably attack that body, that long, wiry body of Arroyo. Torres, you would think the physicality wants to be close. And Arroyo, with the size, with the reach, wants to do that, stay on the outside and use those long arms. And use the ring a little bit as he's doing, keep maybe the stronger Torres off balance. Right now, Arroyo is doing just that.
Arroyo keeping that distance with the jab, and then came with a right hand after throwing the jab.
Extra pressure on both these fighters. As we said, neither one has learned how to win yet. You always have doubts. You always have pressures going into that ring, Joe, waiting in the locker room. But extra when you haven't won, because you're starting to say, am I good enough? Can I win? You're already insecure just having to go in the ring. That only adds to that ass.
Good shot by Arroyo. NYC, that's exactly what we are doing. Wednesday night fights in New York City here. In a high-end charity, private invite-only Wednesday night fights at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Still to come tonight, a very attractive main event. Undefeated Peter Quillen against 3-time world title challenger Antoine Eccles. This is round number 2. 18-year-old Joey Arroyo, the tall, wiry fighter in the black and white, taking on Angel Torres.
I already mentioned that Arroyo has maybe the difficult task of trying to get his first win against the southpaw. Torres has the difficult task of trying to get his first win against the tough style fighter who moves a little bit, has long arms, uses that ring, has the ability to come at him from different angles. And also Torres dealing with 1 year and 8 months of inactivity. That's not easy.
Last fought August 2006, and that was a loss. He was also TKO'd in his career back in May of 2005, and both men opened up their careers with 4-round draws.
Little redness under the right eye of Torres, and that coming from the left jab of Arroyo.
That's it.
Torres having trouble again with the style, the movement of Arroyo. Had a little trouble with the weigh-in yesterday. Came in 90 minutes late, Joe. 3 pounds over the contracted weight. Commission only gave him 15 minutes to lose the weight. The maximum weight you can lose with this kind of contract in New York laws is 1.3 pounds. So he still would have been over the limit.
Watch your head.
So what do you think happened?
Let go.
Money changed hands, and the contract was changed to 130 pounds. An agreement was made between the both camps.
That 1.3-pound limit, I believe that's the 10% rule that comes into play. This is a 130-pound fight.
That's exactly what it is.
So that's the max weight loss that you're allowed at that point. That's for the safety of the fighter. A lot of people don't understand that, Teddy, but you really, especially at the lower weight classes, some serious repercussions when you start dropping a lot of weight.
Yeah, especially quickly. You know, it's one thing if you have the right amount of time to do it properly, but if you're going to do it by drying out, dehydrating, losing your electrolytes, starving yourself, then of course you don't want to see a fighter getting in the ring under those conditions, although many fighters have.
Coming to the end of round 2 between Torres and Arroyo, as we continue to work our way to a much anticipated main event between Antoine Eccles and Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen, who is making his final preparations here, 17-0 with 14 knockouts, fights out of Brooklyn, and he says he can do it all.
I can knock you out with the left, I can knock you out with the right. I can do it all in the ring. Once I'm in that ring, I feel like, you know, I'm in the whole wide world. It's no limit to what I can do in the ring. And that's what makes me great as a fighter, is that every time that I go out these fights, I become more better and I become more confident. And, you know, I'm getting closer to becoming what I want to be in this game.
Teddy's going to take on a very familiar face that we've seen numerous times through the year, 35-year-old Antoine Eccles. We've talked about how much does Eccles have left when we've done his recent fights. But in his last outing, he actually showed us a little something down the stretch of that fight, a draw against the unbeaten Michael Walker.
Yeah, but a draw against I'm taking nothing away from, but Walker had been taking the fight on very quick notice.
Right.
And Walker doesn't have the physical presence, the power that Quillen has. This could be a dangerous night, I think, for the old warrior, Mr. Eccles. And of course, it can be dangerous for Quillen, because Eccles can still punch.
He can. And he will stay in there and stay in there and give himself every opportunity to land that one punch. So that's coming up in our main event. This is round 3 between two very hungry young men, Joey Arroyo and Angel Torres, both searching for their first win. That is Torres surging in, and now Arroyo turns the tables and lands a left hand, 3 consecutive to the body, as Torres was just holding on upstairs.
Well, the biggest advantage that Arroyo has had, and he's had an advantage in the first 2 rounds, I believe, over Torres, is that he can get it done in more places than Torres can get it done. Torres seems like he can only get it done coming forward right in front of you. Arroyo can get it done, he just showed you a moment ago, in front, inside, and on the outside, and also from the side. Not an easy guy to deal with is Arroyo, with the kind of unorthodox, awkward style that he has. 1 minute he's in, 1 minute he's out.
Arroyo not able to get that hand free moments ago. There are the total punches where Arroyo enjoys a 74-37 connected advantage.
I mean, Arroyo's not difficult enough using those legs, using that big ring, and that's a big ring, about a 20-foot ring there, Joe. And it's definitely favoring Arroyo. He's not difficult enough using his legs. Every once in a while he can turn southpaw, as he did a round ago. Cut under the right eye of Torres.
Torres trying to work on the inside.
I don't know if it's too little too late, but that's where Torres should have been going, to that thin body of Arroyo earlier. Try to take that movement away from Arroyo, take those legs away.
That cut is worsening around the right eye of Torres. And those left hands won't help from Arroyo.
Torres tries not to waste anything. You know, he wants to place punches. He doesn't want to just throw. But while he's trying to get himself sized up in position to throw those accurate punches, Arroyo just outworking him. He doesn't care if they land or not. He's just throwing them, keeping you busy, keeping you off balance.
We'll have one round to go, and you can see Arroyo bouncing with confidence. Angel Alejandro is the cut man in the corner of Angel Torres, the 23-year-old from New York, who suffered a cut above the right eye in the third round. What has been a good active fight, four-rounder here between Torres and Arroyo. Both offers in the win column early on. There's a good left uppercut from Arroyo.
And Torres has some catching up to do, at least on my scorecard. He's got one round to do it. He's not going to do it by matching speed with the speedy Arroyo. He's going to do it by, I think, trying to trap Arroyo a little bit, force him into a position to punch, and then beat him to the mark like he's trying to do right now. In other words, timing can beat speed. And just watch for that. That's what Torres, I think, has in his mind in this last desperate round here. He's going to try to trap Arroyo, cut the ring down, force him to stop the punch, and then look to nail him. Look to time him.
That's it.
Arroyo staying out at range, tall, wiry fighter.
And that's exactly what Torres did. He tried to time Arroyo right there with the left hand. Just watch him. He'll walk him down a little bit, Joe. And he'll try to get Arroyo to stop the punch. And then when he stops, try to be there first.
Shorter man utilizing a good solid jab there.
Let go.
And Jake LaMotta, one of the great middleweights of all time, fought all those fights with Sugar Ray Robinson. And yes, I know he lost most of them, but they were very close. And in some of them, Sugar Ray Robinson, and he's shorter. So you don't have to be as tall and as long as your opponent to out-jab him if you know the geometry of the jab.
Blood now coming from the lip of Joey Arroyo. Just opened up here in the final moment of this fourth round.
And again, the style of Arroyo giving Torres fits. The movement, the switching from southpaw to orthodox, the punches coming from different directions, different angles. And of course, Arroyo never really letting Torres get set.
Mouthpiece came loose on that exchange on the inside.
Stay in the corner. Come on, fellas, let's go.
There's a good look at that right eye of Angel Torres, but he has fought through it admirably here in round number 4.
You know, if they get this kid Arroyo into a weight room, get a little bit more physical strength in him, he has the kind of ring presence and the kind of style that they can build up some wins.
He's only 18 years old. And he may be moments away from win number 1. We will come back and find out what the judges had to say about Angel Torres and Joey Arroyo when we return to Wednesday night fights. Start your weekend with Friday night fights, but for now, let's wrap up the total punches between Angel Torres and Joey Arroyo after their 4 rounds. Arroyo a 114-62 advantage. Teddy Atlas's scorecard, an even 3rd round, but the other 3 went to Joey Arroyo, so 40-37 for Teddy. Let's find out what Generous Joe Antonacci has to say.
Boxing fans, at the 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Frank Lombardi and Tommy Kazmarek both score the bout 40-36, while Judge Bob Gilson scores it 39-37. All for your winner by unanimous decision from the Bronx in New York City, Joey Arroyo.
Joey Arroyo wins the Borough War here in New York. His record now 1-1-1.